Good intro music.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And thank you for jumping into the Conor Ahearn podcast. We've got a guest again. It's been pretty consistent. So we've got Christian, as always, my co-host, but
Hello.
EddieX from YouTube, Automotive YouTuber.
From the YouTube.
And Colin Kuhn, his are you his videographer now?
Yes,
or
yeah.
Awesome. So
Known Colin for a couple years and recently started working together, helping to film stuff and work on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, started quite a while ago too. It's funny because back in the earlier days when they were still going off in Ann Arbor shooting all the time, I came out one night to film the cars in the snow doing a bunch of crazy. tricks and stuff too.
I almost brought my Alpha 4C to that, but I was not making that venture all the way in that storm.
There was a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I did because it was the first time I met Eddie too, and since then, I've known him. So
yeah. So for those who don't know you, how would you describe yourself? Kind of briefly introduce who EddieX is.
Okay. Well, I've been doing automotive YouTube videos since 2014. Initially started with a different channel. My former friend Parker. We were on Vehicle Virgins. We built that.
Keep a distance from try to keep a distance of like a fist away.
Fist.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
The channel's Vehicle Virgins. We grew that from about 1,000 subscribers to 500,000 throughout my course in college. Then we had a pretty significant business disagreement, went our separate ways. I started my own channel, EddieX, still just doing car videos because at the end of the day, I just love cars. I like talking about them, meeting people who also like cars, experiencing different kinds of vehicles, and then just in my spare time, I film videos, edit them, post them to YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah, I went to school for mechanical engineering. I was at Ford Motor Company for almost 2 years as a engineer, but because of the YouTube stuff, they kind of knew who I was, and they asked me to come work on the marketing team for 6 months. So I did a rotation on marketing at Ford.
I mean, that's smart of them.
Yeah, it was really cool actually. They brought me into this room with all these executives and managers and so tell us how you do YouTube videos.
You're like, am I in trouble right now?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Because they spend a lot of money in their high production stuff. They're like, how do you as this individual make videos and they get sometimes as many or more views as we do when we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
Exactly. I mean, they'll probably spend $100,000 on a commercial shoot.
Oh yeah, easily on some of the big ones, and their ad spend and stuff. It's crazy.
Exactly. So for them to have you in house as an opportunity, they probably are like, okay, let's
that was a lot of fun.
pick his brain for a little bit. But yeah, so now you're a full-time YouTuber though.
No, I am not. No,
Okay.
I have a full-time job. I run marketing and sales for a high-performance fuel systems company.
Okay,
And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, YouTube has always been kind of the side thing for me. I haven't dedicated full-time to it. I've thought about it a couple times, but it's always full-time 9 to 5, and then on the weekends.
I mean, that's a smart thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Respect the hustle too.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just kind of doing it. I mean, it seems like you could be doing this full time. I mean, you're
from
really
an
putting out
outsider's
great
perspective,
content, so.
I mean,
Thanks.
you're traveling, you're getting great content. From an outsider's perspective, you certainly could assume this is
Yeah,
full
some
time.
people ask me that, but not quite yet. The YouTube, actually, I think the biggest accomplishment for me with YouTube is it pays for the toys. The
There you
cars.
go.
Yeah.
I live off my full-time salary, and then extra money from YouTube just goes towards the R8, the RS7.
Yeah.
What
whatever.
more could you want? I mean, you could always go up, but
Yeah.
but that's just the best setup to have another stream of income that you enjoy doing that can actually provide for more things that you enjoy doing. So that's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, you're a young guy and you have some fast cars, and
Working on it.
from the brief time that I've known you or kind of known of you, you've gone from, I mean, I believe a BMW
Yes.
to an R8,
Yes.
and now
Oh,
you
the
have an
RS7.
RS7.
So when I let's see, I graduated the month before graduating college. My goal was to be able to buy myself a car, and I was able to, but the cars that I wanted to buy, I couldn't quite afford. But I was deciding on E92 M3 or ended up buying a Boss 302 Laguna Seca. That was my first ever car. Growing up, I'd been a Mustang person. My dad's worked at Ford, so I went to take your child to work day with him, and I liked them. Bought a 302 Laguna Seca, and then I want to say less than 6 months later, I picked up the i8, and all my friends were like, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah.
And then sold the Mustang because they needed an actual daily driver, so I bought my Audi S4. Then the i8 was a 2-year lease, which I got a crazy good deal on. That went away. Kept the S4, bought the R8. Sold the R8 and then bought the R7. So that's kind of my car history.
It's not a bad lineage there.
No, not
Yeah.
it's not as long as some people might think, but I'm growing on it.
There's some pretty big heavy hitters in there. I'd say.
So, Colin, you have a 911, don't you?
yes, yep, it's actually on the screen right now. The 97.1.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep, that was mine.
Awesome. So, stock or what's going on with that?
Right now, that's just stock.
Not a bad way to keep it though
Yeah,
for a Porsche.
that's how I figured I would do it. I originally started. I'm a pretty big BMW fan, so
Okay.
it originally started because my dad had a job with BMW. He was a regional sales manager, so he was selling a lot of like the automotive chemicals to the dealerships itself, and then they'd purchase them. And he came home with a 5 Series like the first day of work. So the company basically bought it for him.
Yeah.
Came home and I like fell in love with BMW. So I've owned several 3 Series cars.
Yeah.
I've owned an older 5 Series now, and then I sold my 335 Xi, so the twin turbo N54. Love that car. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Bought the 911 Carrera 4S, and it fully converted me over to Porsche. It's been an awesome experience so far.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I had a 996 911 turbo for a while.
Awesome.
They're fun cars. Although, I mean, my dad is a 911 nut, so he loves. I mean, he would be kind of absent without a 911.
Yeah,
I don't think he could exist without a Porsche in his life. So when I had a 911, it was kind of like, I kind of feel like my dad right now. It's a great car, but it's such a gentleman's sports car.
Yeah.
And you know, pretty much going right into a Huracan from there.
Yeah,
I traded in the 996 with a few other cars and got the Huracan. And I was like, all right, this is a little bit more up my alley.
Why did you choose the Huracan?
So I had a Gallardo in 2012.
Okay.
And that was obscene. Absolutely obscene.
What year?
It was a 2008.
So you still had a pre-LP to 5.0?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a manual.
Oh.
So it was solid.
Yeah.
It was solid. But those cars, their maintenance is not great. And I was approaching that 20,000 miles. Or no, sorry, I picked it up with 20,000 miles. I freshly had the 20,000 mile service on it, and I put 10,000 miles on it, so it was approaching 30,000.
Okay.
And I was not looking forward to that bill.
Yeah.
And I was at that point living in Midtown Detroit, circa 2012. Not exactly the best car to be driving around Midtown.
Nope.
So yeah, I sold that and got into real estate with that
cool.
money and kind of just kept moving it upwards from there. But so I had the baseline of loving the Lamborghini brand from there.
Yeah.
And I looked at getting an R8 and again, it felt too much like a gentleman's car. And if you're going to have something that ridiculous that, you know, if it's going to piss someone off, it's already going to piss them off.
Yeah.
So might as well have the fullest one to that example. And I started thinking about it and just out on a whim, reached out to Lamborghini Troy. I was like, hey, do you guys want to make a trade happen for this car that's been sitting on your lot for a little bit? And they surprisingly hit me back up in like a day, and they're like, we would love to make that trade happen.
Nice.
We want to
Also,
get rid of this car.
Huracan for a bunch of other stuff, 996.
Well, yeah, 996,
Yeah.
a Focus RS,
Okay.
and a Alpha 4C.
Holy crap, group trade. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was an interesting drive back to the dealership. Me and the sales rep were literally just mobbing down 696 together.
Nice.
Because I mean, he was like joyride, and I was just like final send off, gotta send it.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
And then I guess one of my friends ended up buying the 996 and 4C.
Oh, cool.
You probably know the guy. Do you know Nick Lazar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he ended up buying them to sell them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he hit
Gotcha.
me up like a week later and was like, I have your cars.
He seems to have all the cars in his hands at some point.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So speaking of Porsches, I mean, his name is Rally Porsche.
Yeah, I mean, if you're unfamiliar with Rally Porsche, go check him out.
Yes.
His Porsche collection is, I mean,
Pretty good.
it's not one of those Dubai style collections, but it's a respectable
And
collection.
he drives them, all of them,
Hardcore.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gravitated towards Porsches because that's the only car he could fit in.
He's
Like,
a very tall guy.
He's like 6'5". I don't think.
No, he's beyond 6'5". My
More?
brothers are like 6'5".
Yeah. He makes me
he's
feel
like
short.
easily 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
Like, you know, you certainly wouldn't want to say freakishly large, but the guy is large. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least from my 5'8" perspective.
We did the video debuting his Gold Rush Rally wrap on the GT3.
Oh, that rap was
Shut down in,
that's
Detroit.
the old racing livery,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, like the weather. Yeah.
That's something that I've definitely thought about for a kind of a collaboration of my personal brand and my company brand that I'm working on for the Huracan.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, I mean, as you and I were kind of talking about, I'm not so sure how many more rallies I'm going to be jumping into in the next year or so. Mainly just trying to focus more on business and not getting pulled over at a high rate of speed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, we never speed on rallies. Always a speed limit.
Only when we're in Mexico.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just time travel or just warp speed to Mexico.
88 miles an hour is not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, 88, you hit it, and, Doc, you're there.
Off. Yeah. So, Colin, give us a little bit of background on your history with media and filming.
Yeah.
And...
oh, gosh. Yeah, so it started quite a while ago. I originally started really shooting video with a VHS camcorder that my grandpa gave me when I was 6.
Okay, so like old school, like you were doing it from
the core.
like
So I started there, worked my way up to meeting with friends after school, making airsoft videos, paintball videos. Eventually it turned into like I wanted to put special effects to them, so I was like, all right, I've made some short films. You can find them actually like really deep on my channel if you like look really deep into it.
Like E28 source or a different channel?
It's the same channel, but they're like really like far in there.
Even if I don't pull up the video, what's your channel? I'll pull it up.
E28 source. Yeah. So so it went from there. So oh, there you go. There's my SEO working properly there.
Yeah. Nice.
There you go. Yep. So just hit over 1,000 subs.
Oh, congrats on that.
I'll send you an extra one.
Certainly not going to scoff on that. I'm on my climb up.
After that, my freshman year of high school, I purchased my first like major DSLR, which was actually the Canon 60 that you guys have one of those.
Nice. Yeah.
Purchased that camera. I shoot weddings a lot, so I do like 30 weddings a year.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
So I do a lot of that, and
Gets married 30 times and then divorced 30 times.
Yes, it's the same person every
one
year.
client. He loves Vegas.
Yeah.
So started from there, and it's fun because like before I even had my license, I was like, "Here, Dad, here's $50. Drive me to Grand Rapids to shoot this wedding."
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we did that a lot.
So are you like assembling a team for shooting the wedding, or are you just doing this?
I have teams assembled now to shoot weddings. So now I actually end up double booking things quite often. So I have a couple weddings next year that are already double booked. I had a couple weddings this year that were double booked. So that's a majority of what I do, but also more recently, after around by the time I graduated high school, I kind of decided that I didn't really want to go off into further university or anything like that because I was doing all right, and I was like, all right, I can keep this going, keep the momentum, and I started picking up clients. So I started meeting with orthopedic surgeons, pharmaceutical companies. I really like kind of focusing a little bit more on the medical. It's kind of fun to me. It's just what I'm into.
Yeah.
And it kind of runs a little bit in my family, all the medical stuff. So my mother's like an ultrasound tech, and has always spent time doing that. So went on to basically just start an agency. So I basically call myself Panamotion Imaging, a creative agency. Shoot all types of videos. We work with insurance companies, surgeons, all types of stuff. So
awesome.
And then connected with Eddie, and we've known each other for a long time. I've kind of talked here and there, and then eventually Eddie was like kind of looking for someone to help kind of create more videos, create higher quality content for his subscribers, which I wanted to do, and here we are now.
Awesome.
Wow.
When you got into weddings, were you shooting photography mostly or video?
Video.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay,
Video.
so right off the bat, video.
Yep.
Awesome. That's a lot of times people will start with photography and then they'll move over to video.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. You just got into it right off the bat, especially when you were 6 with the old video camera.
Yeah.
I guess it runs deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty interesting the transition, especially going from shooting like short films into like commercial, because it got to the point where there was nonprofits that would kind of reach out and say, "Hey, can you shoot this for $50?" And I was like, "Sure." And then it just kept gaining, and they'd connect me with people, and
Awesome.
went from there.
Yeah, it's all word of mouth
Yeah.
and that style of industry, and I mean pretty much any industry other than like social media.
Yeah.
So for our gearheads, anybody who's interested in cameras that might follow us, I saw on your Facebook you're shooting. I saw like an FS7 and like Canon C3.
I have FS700R.
Nice.
It's an older camera, but I mean, I think it's like 8 years old, but it still shoots 4K and does 240 frames per second slow-mo.
Okay.
Very nice.
So my Instagram, you can see some cool slow-mo clips. We just did one with the Ford
the
Raptor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, got air, got a nice slow-mo clip with the Raptor. And then also Sony A7S II.
Nice.
Love those cameras.
Very solid. Yeah.
They're useful for what I do because we shoot a lot in low light.
Okay.
So I need that
Their
low light
low light is
performance.
very-
Yeah, like is that all for like interior shooting, or is that kind of just you just
I
happen to
use
be
it for
shooting at
everything pretty
night?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the low lights mainly for shooting weddings. So
Okay.
like the reception, for
Oh,
example.
I thought you were referring to
Yeah.
working with Eddie,
Yeah.
and I was like, you guys are filming at night?
No,
On
no,
low
yeah.
light? Yeah. Like car videos at night?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not
But
seeing any
no.
of those videos.
No.
You don't
Uh,
post
I've
those,
thought
huh?
about doing the nighttime POV of the GoPros. Some of those, because like you don't really get the effect of all the. There's so many screens and lights on interior ambient lighting and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a different experience than seeing it during the day.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. That's actually a really good point. I've noticed, like, even in Top Gear, I've seen when it, like, sometimes when they have a challenge, they drive all the way through the night, and then they rig up lighting. It doesn't look too hard to rig up the lighting in a car, but you still see the whole ambient light, and then you can comment on all that as well. You know, if you have any of the cars that have a light accent.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
very-
if you have a
I think that'd be
Mercedes,
very
you can
useful.
probably do it up real nicely.
Oh yeah, go through all 64 different colors in E60.
Yeah.
The one of the biggest things I remember doing YouTube in college was when we get to winter in Michigan, it's like the daylight. You get like 8 hours of daylight, and once we're out of class, and be like, well, it's dark now. You can't really film when it's dark, so you have to capture the little bit of light on the weekends when you could, and review a car, and then edit. So that
that must have been quite the struggle of time frame.
Yeah, it was. I have a love-hate relationship with Michigan. A, the roads suck. B, the weather sucks. C, everything. So somebody things suck. But
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up here and everything. So, but like being a filmmaker or a car person in general is kind of difficult here because I mean the roads aren't so great and the weather's not so great for shooting. The reason people go to California is
because
They
those
can
all
film
year
too
round.
all year
Exactly.
round. But I mean, you were just out in Arizona visiting JR Garage.
Yeah, I was because they were with my friend Kent.
Okay,
Met
but
up
you
with JR
happen to
Garage,
be
yes.
okay, right on. I mean, I could picture any automotive enthusiast that doesn't want to deal with California thinking Arizona or that surrounding region being
my
perfect.
friend Kent was trying really, really hard to sell me on moving to Arizona. He didn't. I just bought a condo in Ann Arbor. He's like, "Don't buy anything in Michigan. You got to come out here, then move out here." I was like, "I can't. My timeline doesn't work like that. I've got a girlfriend here. I'm not just gonna bail and go to the other side of the country."
Right.
But Arizona was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how are the cars for JR Garage? I briefly saw the video.
Yeah. So I actually met Jeffrey, I want to say like 3-4 years ago, back on Vehicle Virgins. He had bought an Audi S6, the V10, Lambo V10 one, and was already a fan. And he was driving it back, and he messaged Parker and I, and he goes, "Hey, you want to meet up? Want to film this thing?" We're like, "Sure, sounds good." And he was asking all these questions, like, "What kind of equipment? What do you do with this? What time do you post in a day?" And then like a month later, he like made a YouTube channel, and then blew up, which was like, oh, good for him. So I haven't seen him in a while, but they have a warehouse with McLaren 12C, UGR, manual Verde Ethica, Gallardo, a couple 458s, Dodge Viper, Maserati.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's a very good setup. A lot of people have gotten to that niche of like buying like a cheap car, like and fixing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not. I don't think they're quite as far as like buying salvage cars, but like a car of a rear end damage. So like like an R8 V10 for like 70 grand with like 8,000 miles on it. I'm like, holy crap!
That's a new car.
Yeah. They just put a new bumper on it, fix a couple things, good to go. There's an accident on it, but that's why it's cheap.
Replace the heat shielding or just put a different exhaust on it. And
But yeah, those guys were cool. We met up there. I was out there with my friend Kent. We do Monterey Car Week. We try to Monterey Car Week every year. So flew into San Francisco. We drove down to Monterey, spent the week there. Then went to LA for 2 days, and then road tripped all the way to Arizona because his family just bought a new house there, and they needed to move some cars.
Not a bad move.
Yeah, so I was in a GT3, a 991.2 GT3 for I don't know.
Okay,
Dozens
was that
of hours.
that blue one?
The Miami Blue.
Okay,
one,
yeah, I saw that on Instagram.
It was pretty good. Kent decided to disconnect the exhaust valve, so it got a little bit droney on the freeway, but it was a good car. It's so solid and so just. I love Porsches too.
Yeah, I mean they're a great all-around car, and especially for a long road trip or like a rally or something like that. A 911's really
definitely
solid choice. But any big trips besides Arizona?
The recent was Arizona and California, but for personal stuff, I don't have anything planned. Some personal vacation, going to place with my girlfriend, but then I've got some work trips. We're going to FL2K, which is the big drag race event down in Florida. Then I'm going to SEMA for work again, so I'll be in Vegas for a week. But as of now, nothing big planned.
Well, I mean, SEMA's pretty awesome though.
SEMA it was my first time going last year, and because it's for work, our company had a booth there, and I, as marketing and sales, I had to manage all of it. It was stressful and a lot of work for me, so I didn't do as much fun car stuff.
Okay.
But it was a good experience.
So you didn't end up at SEMA with Ford or anything?
No.
Okay.
No, not at that point yet. That's getting those getting the attention of
perks,
of OEMs, man. I've just recently started getting press cars. So we were talking about earlier.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
I got a Jeep Gladiator for a week. First press car ever. Well, I've had them before on the other channel, but for myself, and I really liked it. It was good on the road. I took it to Chicago on a road trip. So 4 hours there, 4 hours back. Fit all our luggage and everything, and it was reasonably composed on the road. So I'm sure you feel the same way too. Have you driven a Wrangler?
Yeah. My dad has a Wrangler,
Okay.
and I mean it's a island car, but
okay.
I mean you can technically legally get up to 45 on that island.
Okay.
But even at 45 in that Jeep, you're like, if I have to make a sudden turn, I am screwed. I am beyond screwed.
Yeah. Well, the Gladiator has an it's like 18.9 inches longer on the wheelbase.
I mean, it's so much more stable.
Way more stable. And then with the hardtop that yours had, the press car had, the wind noise isn't bad. Because we were off-roading up at the Holly Oaks Off-Road Park. And our friend Matt needed some help moving a bunch of Gladiators back and some Jeeps. Yeah. And I had a Rubicon with the cloth top on the freeway. I'm like, holy crap, this thing is horrible. You can't even hear yourself think.
I don't know why anyone gets those. No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Especially here in Michigan. Like, so you have this for 1 month of the year?
Exactly. Yeah. And the hardtop, you can remove it. So it's like,
I mean, it even has a box under the seat for all the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well thought out.
Yeah. Did you get the Bluetooth speaker on yours?
The removable Bluetooth, I did not.
So apparently that's like automotive grade rated or something, and it works after 30 minutes underwater.
Wow.
I don't know why you would submerge your speaker, but
so is that another thing that's hidden under the seat?
You pull the passenger side back seat, and it's like it plugs in, so it charges at all times, and then when it's plugged in, it becomes part of your whole car sound system.
Yeah.
And then you can pull it out and use it.
Yeah, I don't have that. I wish
it's like a $300 option. I saw it on the options list. I'm like, why would I option a Bluetooth speaker? Then I found out it was integrated. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I just kind of lucked out with what was locally like 10 minutes away from my house.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My truck was on its last leg. And
Raptor.
It needed some TLC on the suspension.
Oh boy, jumping it too much?
No. Ford honestly just engineers it to the point. We're pretty much Fox. It's just it's a cross between Fox providing a shock that's rated for X amount of miles.
Yeah.
And Ford not wanting to put too beefy of a suspension on it from the stock position. So I could have put a rebuild kit into the suspension, spent a few grand, and probably only gotten 5,000 miles out of it. Okay. So the truck was at like 70,000 miles or something like that, 72,000, maybe 74,000. Okay. And it needed all new suspension. So the dealership took it in, even knowing that. They were like, yeah, we hear some rattles from the suspension. I mean, we'll take it. Whatever. I'm like, okay. Sounds great.
When Connor decides his car needs a major service, he just buys another one.
No. So
first the Lambo, now the Raptor?
No, so the Lambo was more of an investment move.
Okay.
Yeah, because all that funding went into real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raptor was I could either spend 15 grand on suspension and make it a Baja truck and have a great time with that, or I could spend that Delta and difference and have a brand new truck to share with my fiance and not worry about like, hey, I'm lending you a mini trophy truck.
Yeah.
Don't crush someone's Civic today.
Don't run over any pets.
Yeah. So, because like the Raptor is great, but it's one of those trucks that you can't practically get around a suburban neighborhood. Yeah. So it was just time to go.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean Gladiator. That's
by the way, I was gonna see. Have you guys seen this?
Art?
This is a Wagoneer front.
Yeah, this is what
grill.
they some company is doing conversion for it, and then
really
Jeep showed a their Easter rally, right? Yeah. So they built up one of those combined on a I think they took an old body like from a 1977 Jeep.
Yeah,
truck,
I'm bringing that up right
and
here. Maybe this isn't gonna pull up the right thing, but there's the old Jeep Wagoneers had a special edition. I don't know if it was a special edition or if it was just an option, but they had this like angled back grill that looks just like that. I'm trying to see if I can pull up a picture, but
so they built a special one for this Easter rally.
Okay,
and put a Hellcat motor in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like overheating and stuff, but like, I mean, not a huge surprise. That motor's huge.
I got to ride in first a Hemi swapped Wrangler and then a Hellcat swapped Wrangler. That is how they should come from the factory. Oh my god, they're so cool.
I mean, James. Do you know James?
Yeah. I met up with him, got him. We went to the off-road park together, and then saw him in
awesome.
California.
Yeah, so he came by here when he was waiting on his axle.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, obviously, I was stoked to see him, but I was kind of bummed he didn't bring his Gladiator because I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, it's a crazy swap, but
it's going to be even crazier. He had to do the Hellcat.
Yeah,
first,
he's doing the Elephant.
Yeah, they're on delay. Yeah.
I mean, I might try to bark up his tree and see if I can get that motor from him after he's done with it.
Hellcat. Yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
So, do you own that motor, or does 4x4 America's Most Wanted own that motor? Can I buy it from you?
I mean, you can just go to America's Most Wanted and have them do it for you.
Yeah, and spend $50,000.
Is that how much it is?
I mean, I think
it's not
50 to
cheap.
70. You're spending the truck on the motor.
I sent them a picture. There's some dealer trying to sell a Hellcat swap Gladiator for like 147 grand.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't think it's worth that much.
No. I mean, it needs a lot of work to support that much horsepower on a realistic basis. I mean, I did a solid burnout with it with a, the standard V6.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it shreds rubber.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was. I actually saw it the other day. It was just pouring off the tires. I mean, it left a pile, and it was only like a 3 or 4 second.
Yeah, it was just like, let's see if this can actually burn.
That V6 is plenty strong enough.
Yeah, so I mean, if you throw a,
You'd be tripling the horsepower almost.
Yeah, so if you triple that horsepower, you need to upgrade everything.
That's why, I don't know how you guys feel about, extensively modifying cars. I haven't gotten into it because it's just a game of finding the next weakest link.
I have an LS3 Miata.
Okay, so yeah, well, you just rebuild the entire car?
Yeah, it's a different car.
Yeah, because you start breaking everything. That's why, my people are like, when are you going to tune the RS-7? I'm like, well, I have a warranty on it.
Yeah.
It's my daily driver, and right now, the oil screens have an issue where they choke up, and you blow your turbos, and that's $10,000. I'm like, I want that to be covered under warranty if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same practicality of, are you going to put an exhaust on your Huracan?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
I'm not.
Okay.
I mean, $10,000 for what?
Just cut it off and put PVC pipes on your.
I mean, the thing really comes down to when you see all these videos of cars that catch on fire, excluding the Senna, it's usually because of a modified exhaust.
Oh yeah, or it's somebody who took the cats off and just sat there piss revving to shoot fire.
They
and
sat there and loaded up their pops and crackles and flames tune, and they were like, "I'm going to the show tonight.
Yes.
Let's see what's up."
Yep.
So pretty much, I just think that Lamborghini spent so much money and time engineering that car that I haven't even lowered it. It's sitting like a 4x4 right now. But it's Michigan roads, man.
Yeah.
And when you're just on a rally trying to keep up with the map and everything that's going on, keeping up with the walkie-talkie, you hit a pothole once in a while.
Oh yeah.
And I'd rather hear the tire kind of compressing than the whole car just go.
Yeah.
It's not when I was rallying with Damon from Daily Driven Exotics, keeping up with him, next to impossible.
He drives like a maniac.
Yes. Yeah. I applaud it, but keeping up with him is hard. But also, his car is so low that I was just like, this is the prime example of why I will not lower my car.
My favorite car that he's built was still the original, the 458. That's when I first met him.
I think that was honestly probably his coolest build.
Yeah.
Probably the most wild.
Yeah.
Because Lamborghini, his current setup is fantastic. Probably shouldn't have bought that Mercy. Seems to be a money
if
thing.
you had a chance to buy a Mercy, I'd do it. That's my poster dream car from when I was a kid.
Not a bad idea,
Scream.
but for the concept of it's a business.
beat on?
Well, it's a business investment, and he needs to film with it,
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't.
No, that's not a good car you want to drive the crap out of. That's where,
That's one of those situations that I think I would take that money, find someone that wants to make a percentage of the viewership or something and buy a Pagani or some silly shit like that and just be like, look, you float the other half.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's other cars that would be well worth that like flamboyancy.
Yeah.
I mean, within the Lamborghini brand, no. But you know, I mean, have you seen the new Lamborghini that's coming out? Their new hypercar.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I actually heard about it a week or two or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I know a guy who's getting one. And they were in Italy and specking it out and everything. I was like, well,
Lucky
that's
him.
what's coming. Holy crap! I like that it's supercapacitors. It's a different approach to the kind of hybridization.
Yeah.
It's only for power. It's not for like, oh, we got pure electric mode for good range extension.
Yeah,
It
it's for boost
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
hey, we're gonna send it right now.
I'm not sure if I'm entirely sold on the styling. It's a little
It's ferocious.
very busy, I think.
Well, so it's kind of it's in line with everything that they've designed for their like one-off and
Yeah.
their hypercar lineup.
yeah.
But I don't think that it's something that I would like to aesthetically deal with every day.
Yeah. I mean,
The headlights are cool, but it's so sci-fi.
yeah. It looks like
We have
Hot
a
Wheels looking.
potato phone
It does
soda?
look a little like a Hot Wheels. I
There's
think
like
you're
4
right.
pixels in that picture. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
the
was-
Wi-Fi's not going.
It wasn't too going, so I boosted up my phone.
Okay. Well, this is why we're not live streaming.
Yes,
Thank you, Comcast.
Do you have gigabit?
No.
I
Get
do
gigabit.
downtown. I have it downtown.
Yeah, gigabit. Oh, I got gigabit. Got like the really nice Orbi mesh routers and like the top of the line. Oh, yeah, it's so.
Yeah, I wired straight to my room from like just ran it right next to the carpet in the wall right there.
I was like, do I want to pay more? Yes, I'm paying more because like uploading like when we film something together and I'd upload like 30 gigs of footage. I don't literally at my old place. I would leave my computer on overnight.
Yeah.
And then the next morning I wake up and it still says like 37 minutes remaining. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Now we're just like, 20 minutes later you come back, 30 gigs is up. So
Okay, that's actually pretty solid because
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave the main editing bay here. I mean, it will take like 4 hours or so sometimes for a podcast to upload.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Like,
Well, I mean, it's an hour.
I guess, yeah. But like even like at this point, a 15-minute YouTube video will be up in about 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that problem with like shorter length. I
Yeah.
think it's just writing it and then it processing.
Okay.
It's all that YouTube backend processing time because it will upload fine.
Yeah.
But I won't get the notification of like, hey, go watch your video until many hours.
There's been a
later.
couple times where like my video got stuck in processing for like 2 days. I was like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
And I like literally would just delete it and re-upload it and it'd be fine. I was like,
Yeah, that happens far too often. I feel like to a lot of creators. I guess speaking of that, what has been your biggest struggle with YouTube or like being a creator?
initially it was probably, I mean, part of it is learning to ignore the dumb people of the internet.
The commenters.
The commenters and that initially it definitely
You kind of have to
affected me.
remind yourself who is the kind of person that leaves a negative comment.
Oh yeah. I
Like,
mean,
or who thumbs down someone's video. Just
Yeah.
like, screw this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like it's a free video. Nobody's forced you to watch it.
Yeah,
Like
like-
you're not it just like
I didn't just randomly show up on your phone.
Yeah.
You clicked on this.
and it's like you have a choice to be like, all right, goodbye. I don't want to watch this.
But-
But what I do with content I don't want to see. Getting over that. I mean, people are racist, insulting. At this point, now I don't really care. I laugh about it. Initially, there are some funny ones. I know, like initially on the internet, I was known as the Nissan-looking motherfucker. So my nickname became Nissan for a while, which I'm like, haha, funny.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
Not
But
like every day.
Yeah, you're like, please
How funny,
don't,
but
don't make this my subreddit name.
And-
Like,
yeah.
and then the other one is people automatically assume that you have, like, I was accused of having a trust fund yesterday.
I saw you post about that. So
And this
like,
guy's like, yeah, they all have trust funds. I'm like, where's my trust fund?
yeah, you're like, I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think I would. For a while, I'd get a little bit jealous of, like, you see somebody and they had a McLaren handed to them or something. It's like, oh, good for them. I'm like, I would like a McLaren. But then I realized I kind of really like the feeling of working for it and earning it. I
Right.
see
Oh,
the money.
absolutely.
Earn it.
The money going out of my account every month when I buy it, when I decide it, and it's all me for sure. It was funny when I wanted to get the BMW. I did a 2-year lease on that car because I wasn't sure what kind of nice car I wanted to get, and the deal was got $23,000 off sticker on the i8 lease for just under $1,000 a month when they're normally about $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about getting a second car to the Mustang,
and my dad's like, just get a Fusion. My dad had a Fusion. We got employee AZ pricing, and my dad was out of town at the time, and I called him like, hey, Dad, I think I'm going to get a car. And he goes, oh, the Fusion? And I'm like, no, it's going to be a BMW. He's like, what?
Yeah, you're like, I'm making a very financially impractical decision.
And I was like, don't worry, Dad, I won't come asking you for money when I can't make the payments. He goes, good, I don't have any money to give you. So it's annoying at this point. People always assume anybody who has any amount of success from working hard or doing whatever, oh, it must be Daddy bought them, whatever. And then the last one, honestly, the other struggle has been time for YouTube, because I've had another full-time job, is trying to balance, finding that work-life balance in between full-time job, doing YouTube, having some amount of a social life, having a girlfriend, being able to go to the gym, cook dinner, so I'm not spending way too much money eating out. That kind of balance, because it's always kind of a back and forth. They'll go for 6 months and be like, you know what, I just want to do YouTube stuff, and my friends will be like, hey, can you hang out? Nope. And then it's a trade-off.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the grind, but also keeping yourself well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly.
And giving yourself some time.
Yeah, some downtime to relax. I'm not good at relaxing. I kind of always want to be working on stuff.
I mean,
I think a lot of successful people are.
This shop is evident of
Oh, yeah.
exactly that. I mean, I don't very much so sit down to watch TV unless if it's like after dinner with my fiance or whatever. Usually I'm just making something.
I feel guilty when I'm not like getting something done, because I know
Oh,
my
absolutely.
to-do list is only getting longer.
Yeah.
So I could be doing X, Y, and Z. So if I like take a whole day off and not do anything, I feel kind of bad. It's like I should have been doing that. So,
Yeah, I don't even watch Netflix just because like you'll go down a rabbit hole, and I really like watching Netflix, so I just don't. Like I haven't ever I've never seen any of the big ones. I mean, I've seen like some Black Mirror.
Okay.
But, like
I mean,
when
you've
I'm
missed
over at
some
somebody
quintessential movies too, though.
Oh yeah, well,
I was pointing.
I can't speak about. My friends say I didn't have a childhood. Like I haven't seen any Disney movies. I haven't seen SpongeBob. I haven't seen I did
SpongeBob.
No SpongeBob.
When I was a kid, we had 30 minutes of screen time per week. My parents imposed.
Per week.
So it was
We had
screen
like
time
per day.
was
We had an hour per day.
TV or PS2 or computer or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so was it a lot of studying?
Yeah, we only got that 30 minutes if like math, Chinese, and piano was checked off every single day.
Yeah.
Although we went outside and played. Like I played soccer, we went climbed the tree, went to the park.
Right.
Which I'm
again,
happy
we all grew up in the 90s.
That's a more
Yeah.
traditional.
That's like pretty.
childhood.
It wasn't terrible back then.
No.
Like if we were told like, "Hey, get off your ass and go outside," I think that was pretty normal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now kids would be kicking and
Oh, yeah.
screaming
They're
like, "No, I am FaceTiming with so and so.
I've got to keep my Snapchat
Yeah.
streak.
Yeah.
I'm on a bunch of apps that I should not even legally be on."
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what
TikTok.
I mean, kids, yeah.
All the entire
Everybody's
app. You
getting
guys
into
already
TikTok
Yeah,
now,
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like I think my girlfriend made me a TikTok. She goes, "You need to do this too." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean, so I downloaded it mainly just to see what was up.
Yeah.
And every time I open it, it just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's been a thing in China for a while.
Yeah,
It's been pretty popular
absolutely.
in China for a while, and I just haven't because
I honestly thought it was for like. Actually, I should probably even say that. But like the ads are always with like a
Kids.
certain and I was just like, what is this app actually for?
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was meant for adults to
No.
download it. And then some people that I respect in the business industry, like Gary Vee, are pushing it
like,
really
it's the next
hard
big
right now.
platform.
Yeah, so it's like, he could be wrong, but what if he's right?
Yeah.
Well, also him pushing everybody there probably will make
He's
it
got-
happen.
he's got a big enough
He's-
reach for that.
The guy
Yeah.
has so much influence.
Yeah, he has so much leverage.
Yeah.
But, I mean, leverage with business people.
Right. Yeah, leverage with business people, but I think his voice is so broad. Like he's on every channel.
Yeah, I guess if you asked a group of 10
so-
people, one of them would at least know who Gary Vee is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, especially if they're anybody who's got like an entrepreneurial
Yeah,
lifestyle.
that's for sure.
And those are more the people who like he speaks to anyway. He often says stuff like, I'm not talking to you if you don't want to do this or that, and blah blah blah. But I think he's good at what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Porsche Taycan.
Taycan?
Taycan.
Yeah. Well, the Macan, Taycan.
Taycan. I like it.
Yep.
It is quite irritating to me that they're calling it the Turbo and the Turbo S when it's
Yeah.
electric.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
don't-
branding. It's a branding element now.
Yeah. But
did you see Elon Musk was like,
Yeah,
I
Elon
don't
was
think you know what
flipping
that
it.
means.
Yeah.
And I think Jalopnik retweeted is like, I don't think you know what autopilot means.
Yeah.
So
that is rough.
I mean, it's brutally fast. That'll be for sure, and I like the way it looks.
And it charges very quickly.
Yeah, on the 800
800 volt system.
I mean, and it's very close to what they kind of teased to us. So I mean, I applaud them for that. I mean, it looked it's
a little like the i8. They actually came close to the concept renders.
I mean, this looks like the Mission E for sure.
100%.
But it's like $230,000.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh,
so
wow.
they just fused the GT3 RS onto it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad.
It actually looks pretty great.
It would be much better as a two-door.
I mean, I don't think I'm ready to go
pure electric yet.
Because how quickly it's going to jump generations.
I would rather have that than a Tesla for sure. Yeah, I know there's a price cap, but Teslas are a really good technological exercise. But as a car, they're not that great.
I feel like they're an iPhone.
Yeah, it's an appliance for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in a similar emotion where I haven't bought a McLaren. Like what? When
really?
Yeah.
See, I love McLarens.
I love the styling of McLarens. But when I drive a McLaren, I'm not in love with it.
So here's the difference.
I feel like it's a great phone. It's the way I love it. Like I'm a product designer.
Yeah.
So I love a great design. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. But I still feel like it's an appliance. And then a Huracan, it has so much flair and emotion.
I don't know.
And it doesn't open its windows on me when I'm tracking it.
Yeah, okay. So McLarens,
that's why I haven't owned one yet. I am such a McLaren fanboy
because you could start to own one for the vehicle costs that I see you kind of.
Oh yeah, I've come close to getting a 12C a couple times.
Yeah.
So I like McLaren so much. My username on Instagram is EddieX616. Some people ask me like, "Are you from Grand Rapids?" Yeah. I'm like, "Why?" Then I figured out, oh, that's the area code. No, 616 is the horsepower output of the 12C in Final Factory 4.
Nerd.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how much I've loved McLaren.
With pride.
But I've been scared away from a lot of friends who have told me a lot of horror stories about issues they've had. I had a friend with a 570 that's got a new motor put into it, and and this is the second McLaren, and he's like, Eddie, we spent 45 minutes on the phone. He's like, should I buy a 720S or a 600 LT, or actually I think I should buy a Ferrari F8 or a Huracan Evo. I'm like, well, with these experiences with McLaren, why are you still loyal to the brand? And he goes, yeah, I think I'll buy the Ferrari. And then the next day he calls me and goes, I ordered a 600 LT Spider. I'm like, what?
Why?
Because they're great to drive. They're amazing.
Okay.
I will.
I love the way they drive.
It drove very well in I don't think it drove poorly. I just wasn't in love with it, and I have a biased opinion.
Yeah,
I'm coming
very,
from
very biased.
Yeah, I own a Huracan, so anytime I've gone to Las Vegas Speedway and done a few supercars back to back.
Yeah.
The McLaren's always up there with good fun, but I always walk away with some weird experience happening with electronics.
I mean, I tracked a Huracan, an M1.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't in love with it.
Okay.
I personally I like the rear wheel drive setups, I think, for tracking.
Okay.
GT3, 488, the McLarens. The McLaren actually is not as good as the GT3 and the 488 because it's just the 570S.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I didn't fall in love with the R8 and McLaren and the and Lambo on the track.
Okay.
I'll take a GT3 every day around the track.
Okay, a GT3, phenomenal around the track.
Yes.
Although, probably just because comfortability, but I had faster track times in a Performante than a GT3.
Because it's way more power, a little more aggressive, the aero, the all-wheel drive.
Las Vegas Speedway's it doesn't have that long of a strip. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fairly reasonable in price point. I mean, for about $1,000, you can get behind, 4 or 5 cars.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, although last time I went there and it was completely empty. So, I mean, my fiance went out in a GT3, had a few laps. I passed her, and then he was just like, yeah, you booked what, 5 laps? Just keep going, dude. Just keep going.
Great. Okay.
Just keep going.
So go during off-peak season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was also definitely tell them you own that car. Yeah, I was like, I have a Huracan. And he's like, you, sir, are going to have a fun day then.
Okay, because you're familiar with it. The other thing is, those experiences are really good for people who are never, ever, otherwise going to be able to drive or be in those kind of cars.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, a lot of people think that they're, unapproachable or going to be something different of a, than a traditional vehicle. It's like, nope. For the most part, especially now in modern supercars, it's 2 pedals and a steering wheel. You're
You
not
got auto mode. It's going to be shifting better than you probably could. So, yeah.
something that I proved against Parker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you
So
do?
when I first bought my Huracan, I raced him against Parker and someone else's Huracan, and he decided to try to launch and then shift faster than the Huracan.
Computer could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I literally had a car and a half length on him. I mean, hold on, pull it up. I mean, I won't claim my own content. But we were on a rally, and I had bought the car maybe 2 days beforehand.
Okay.
So it was like, bought the car, had one full day, and then drove it all the way up to Marquette.
Oh, it was the UP rally. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun trip.
Yeah.
I mean, launching in downtown Detroit at the old what was it, the Paquette plant or
I think that's where you guys. I wasn't on that rally. So,
yeah.
What am I typing in?
Go to popular uploads.
Where is that?
Scroll down. There you go. First one.
Nice.
Lamborghinis and bikinis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one does very well too.
I wonder why.
I haven't a clue. It's not very advertiser friendly though. Just scroll to the end because that's when he gets roasted.
We've tried it before. It works.
Oh god.
The other thing is, because you're shorter, you fit well in a Lamborghini.
Yes.
I cannot sit up with a helmet on my head.
I'm right at that threshold of I fit with a helmet on.
Yeah, I can't do it. So I was like, oh, come on. Felt like I was bending my spine when I was driving it.
Yeah. I mean, I've done quite a few drag strip events with the Huracan. I mean, actually more than I have with on like a traditional track.
Okay. Maybe Gary's car was just in limp mode. There you go. Yeah.
There you go. I've actually got a photo from right there. I was like sitting right on the side of the track.
Isn't this the event where?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Turn the audio on for this part. Scroll back.
You mean this or?
Walk out the door, you see someone, they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Did you ever think about the rear-wheel drive one, or you said on 610?
Again, it was one of those factors of what was available locally.
Gotcha. Okay.
I definitely enjoy the rear-wheel drive variant in theory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being able to do donuts and do some burnouts would be nice. But frankly, with such an expensive car, it's kind of nice having the all-wheel drive where I know I can drive it well into fall and not really worry about it as much.
Fair enough.
My experience with rear-wheel drive is I tend to goose it a little too heavy and kick out the
LS
asset.
Miata for that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I have my LS Miata. That's my manual car. That is the car that I hoon around. If you're local to Grosse Pointe, I apologize. Thankfully, Grosse Pointe PD hasn't been too mad about it yet. But yeah, they definitely follow me every time they see it. They're like, track car that has all the lights it needs to be legal. Damn it.
He got us.
He has a license plate and legal tab, so...
So I was gonna bring this guy up. Is it QSR8?
It's the
RSQ8.
yeah.
RSQ8.
It's
There
pretty
we
much
go.
the Urus, which you did a review on the Urus,
I
correct?
love the Urus.
Yeah.
It's my favorite SUV in the world right now.
So that's like
Yeah.
if money wasn't an option, that's like the
Oh, yeah. I'd
the
have an
family
Urus.
car.
I'd have
That's
an Urus, yeah.
that's like what you would show up to go hang out with your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'm not primarily an SUV person per se.
Yeah,
like, if I'm
exactly.
dating, I prefer like an R7 or a Panamera Turbo S or something. But if I had to pick,
Dual practicality.
yeah, the Urus is really good, and then the new G63 is also amazing.
Yeah.
But the Urus is objectively, I cannot say that it's $100,000 better than an X5M or a Cayenne Turbo.
Yeah, that's
Cannot.
that's the hard part. I
Yeah.
mean, when I went to the Urus a launch event,
Oh, we're at Detroit.
yeah.
I was at that one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
well then, damn. So I was there that night, and that was fun. But it was one of those things where it's like, all right, guys, you're gonna try to sell me on this, and you're not gonna start the car.
I mean,
We can't drive
it's gonna
it?
sell itself. The SUV crates. It's
they
gone from
sold.
1.5.
I mean,
yeah.
they sold like I think 20 that night easily.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I just wasn't one of those
No,
20.
no.
I mean, they were like, "So the Huracan's treating you well. You want one of these?" I'm like, "Dude."
I actually got to preview the production Aston Martin SUV also.
How was that?
Pebble Beach. It was very cool. They made me sign an NDA and took my phone away.
Yeah.
Because it's super high security. And then they pulled us into like the design lounge. Like, here, you can spec it. I'm like, I'm not buying one of these guys.
Yeah.
But it was also really cool. They definitely benchmarked this vehicle for that. So
Yeah.
the world of super SUVs is becoming a thing. I just think
The interior is the best that Lamborghini's ever done. It's the best of the parts bin.
Yeah.
Audi touchscreens there and everything, and the interior leather was beautiful. It was spacious. We had luggage in the back, driving around, and then like we got stuck in traffic in Miami. I was like, this sucks. Wait, we can go that way. Oh, I'm in a Lamborghini. I just like went off in the gravel, did a U-turn, and just kept going. Something you would never do in a Huracan.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's definitely got that SUV practicality
Yes.
while having some flair to it, but I still beg to question if it's worth that extra money. And
It's for somebody who has so much money already. It's
So,
not a problem.
this
They
is
like it
someone,
because it's cool. and
yeah,
they're gonna buy it.
This
a
is-
Lamborghini SUV, cool.
Right.
the guy that buys a mil spec buys this for his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that. It's like, to me, like, all right, I really like it, but I would get a GT3 and an X5M or something.
Yes,
Like, you get
absolutely.
the-
You could have a much better crossover.
Yeah.
But I guess before we dive into like a wrap up, I did see that you went to Milspec recently,
Yes.
and I would love to kind of hear about that. How was the truck? I mean, did you drive it around? Or?
I took a 001 around.
Okay.
I've known Ian for a couple years now. I kind of watched this Milspec has grown.
Yeah.
They ran off to Kansas and they came back here. They're building out their new final assembly and showroom design space.
Yeah, last time I spoke with Ian, he was kind of mentioning that transitional phase.
Yeah, they had a little bad luck. Apparently, somebody cut their fiber optic cable to the building, which is like a 20 grand fix. They had to wire a new one in. So
Oh,
he's like, I'm dealing with that now. I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound good.
That sucks.
The truck is badass.
Yeah.
My first time experiencing it, you get in, I'm like 3 miles away from the passenger, and you feel like you're about to fall off the side.
Well, yeah. I mean the M1. I mean the like
H1s.
H1 is just crazy.
Yeah, and I'm impressed by their attention to detail and the bespoke whatever you want. He was telling us how showing us pictures of a guy who had custom luggage made to match the truck's finish. I think that's what makes it worth $250. Somebody spending that kind of money is not thinking about like what else could I buy for it. They're just like, what experience am I getting?
Yeah, I mean it's literally like the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, then like the guys that have a big ranch on Texas that like you can't see the edge of it, and they want a badass vehicle to get to the chopper.
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting it off road at some point. We're gonna experience that.
Okay.
It's on
Yeah, I mean,
portal
there's
axles
that
and-
new off road park
we've
here.
been going up there a couple times, and on the road, I mean, I rolled cold on a Honda by accident.
That's awesome.
Felt a little bit bad
It's the
about
way to
that,
do it.
but it was. I mean,
It's huge. It's hilarious. Everybody's looking at it, and they get out of your way because what are they going to do to you? You're in a
Well,
freaking
also
Hummer.
it
also
looks
looks
military.
military. It looks
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the one we were driving is like the black, like kind of rhino liner finish
Yeah.
type.
It looks like a SWAT truck.
It looks evil.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, get out of the way.
You're like,
Yeah.
this might be police, and if
Yeah.
it's not, I don't want to mess with the guy that's driving it.
And
And then they see you, and they're like, I know you.
and then they have the track truck too. Like,
Yeah, I've
the
seen
race
them
truck.
rip that thing
I was
around.
at M1 for it might have been Science like birthday track day event.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of McLarens go by, and then a GT3s, and then a Bentley, and then a Hummer. I was like, what
Just
the
Ian
heck? Yeah, I'm just
ripping
like, wait,
around.
I know who that is.
Is it still on those odd, like chain wheels?
Yeah, like the
though?
giant like
Yeah.
bike chain thing.
Yeah.
That's running like the largest Pirelli P0s they probably make. And something
Exactly.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's cool that they built that.
it makes over like 1,000 pound-feet of torque.
That's silly.
The one I drove, it was like 600 horsepower and like
Wow.
1,000 pound. It's quick.
Yeah.
The thing- I wouldn't say it's fast because it's
Right.
huge. It's like
Right.
6,000
And
pounds.
you're turning what, like 35? or
Exactly,
something?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's essentially a modern interpretation of the Alpha 1
Yes.
Hummer.
Exactly, yeah. So that was really cool.
So, I mean,
Enjoyed it.
that's certainly well worth the price point.
Yeah,
It's a unique experience. It's unlike anything else out there.
yeah, it was pretty
All right.
badass.
Well, we're about to hit 1 hour.
Okay.
Sounds like Christian has one last question.
You just toss that one up to me.
Yeah, I'll toss that one.
Yeah. We were gonna see what you were what you're open to talking about with Vehicle Virgins and Parker and the split, and if there was anything that you like how you feel about it now, and like where it all.
I mean,
you know.
I've seen photos of you guys
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw
it's chill.
him, whenever I was in California, we were at a different thing on 17 Mile Drive, and then like, oh, there's a bunch of cool cars down the road at another little group. And then we pulled in, it was YouTuber Central. There were like a bunch of nice cars. Shmi had his GT.
Everybody's
there.
got a Gorilla Pod.
Centenario was there. Reventon was there. Parker had his LT. Daily Driven Exotics there. The Mercy and the Garrido.
So you feel poor if you come in with a stock.
I mean,
Huracan.
if you go to the Monterey Car Week, you feel poor unless you are driving a hypercar.
Yeah.
I literally saw 6 McLaren Sennas pass me at once, and I was at the McLaren house, and there were I think 9 or 10 of them there. I mean,
it's pretty much like every super rare car.
Oh yeah.
It's all of them congregating there.
McLaren F1 did a burnout leaving on Ocean Avenue.
That's awesome.
And yeah, but I mean, I saw Parker and we said hi. He came up to me, said hi. Actually, at another car show later on, we were about to leave, and somebody tapped on my shoulder. I turned around, and it was like Parker's dad. I was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Nierenstein." He said hi.
Yeah.
Talked to him for a bit. I mean, what happened in the past happened. We had it was a disagreement, and it hurt me at the time, and decided to move on, move forward. I really don't harbor any specific animosity anymore. I've moved on. I'm working on my own things, enjoying that, and it was lost opportunity. Yeah. It happens. You learn from it. I viewed it as a learning experience going forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's kind of I think the one juicy question that the commenters would be ripping
we get
on
it
us
all
for
the time.
asking.
I still every other like week I'll get a message like, "When are you and Parker getting together to make videos?" I was like. And then it still happens when I get recognized. Sometimes like, oh, you're from Vehicle Virgins. Like, yeah, I used to be.
Yeah, you're like a while ago.
Yeah.
Watch my channel.
I mean, there were. I've been viewed probably over 100 million times on that channel. And it's still, my videos are still getting views and on there. My face shows up.
Exactly. So I mean, they see your face and
Yeah.
they might not even recognize that it's from Vehicle Virgins.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your face, name. It's all synonymous with that channel at one point.
Yes, exactly. It is what it is. Part of my history. I still have a license plate that says VV Boss. It was an experience, and I would not be where I am now if that never happened.
Yeah, it was a good learning curve.
Oh yeah,
and,
So
Connor and I have both had partner splits, and that's the only thing you can do. You move on, you take it as it goes, you move on, and you take it as a learning experience, and you're better off afterwards.
Yeah,
so it's good.
I mean, it's usually that friendship partnership split where you're like, well, that got awkward.
Yeah. I mean, stuff happens, but
yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. It's been awesome.
Yeah, looks like we're at the 1 hour mark almost exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
So thank you very much. And
do this again, for
any
sure.
final things that you guys want to plug? Your Instagram, any new channels, any stuff?
Yeah, just on YouTube, EddieX, and then Instagram's EddieX616.
Cool.
That's it. Yeah,
Colin?
Make sure to check out EddieX. You saw E28 source on there. As my own personal, I do how-to videos on cars and stuff like that.
He just bought a $1,000 Lexus LS430.
Okay, awesome. So go check out.
That's going to be, I can't wait to see that thing.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be on your channel?
Yep, that'll be my channel. I already started posting content of it.
Perfect.
Yep, and then Instagram at Colin's Camera.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.